your estate to real estate. It's Money Matters with Dino.
We've heard a lot of, prenups that didn't work, that either laws changed later or they weren't written up properly. So in general, how effective are prenups?
Well, I can take that one, Dino. If you do the prenup right, if you follow all the guidelines and if you follow what the family code provides and you have a good attorney drafting it, most of the time they're very effective. However, if you try to cut the corners and you try to not necessarily comply with the guidelines, or you try to be a little bit deceitful about presenting it to the other side, then you got a chance that it's not going to be very effective. Most California courts are governed by, and they have to follow whether or not the person is voluntarily signing the premarital agreement. And there's a test in the family code that sets forth under Family Code Section 1615 what is voluntary execution of the premarital agreement. So if you do it to the point where you followed all the guidelines and you gave it to them the other side nice and early, you're going to probably have a very effective premarital agreement.
Can a good lawyer dismantle one, though?
Well, it's interesting. A good lawyer, absolutely, but if you don't follow the guidelines that are set forth in Family Code Section 1615, a bad lawyer can. If they're technically deficient, in other words, if you haven't complied with all provisions of Family Code Section 1615, they're going to be void by just because they didn't comply with the law, so a bad one can. So it's very, very important you get an attorney you trust, get an attorney who was referred to you, get an attorney who you're somewhat knowledgeable with and you can work with, and make sure everything is followed. And follow that attorney's advice all the way through the drafting, because that's where we come in the litigation, is the dismantling of the premarital agreement. And we look at every single angle, every single code section, every single case, every single way in which we could dismantle it. If you do it right from the outset, you're not really giving us much work to work with at the back end, if there is a back end.